Good morning.
Good morning. Wow, I don't think you've ever said good morning first. Wow, that tells
maybe
you
not.
that tells you what kind of technical challenges we are having. I'm not even paying attention. There went your phone. So my computer is beach balling of death, and I thought that we were being so smart because we wrote our questions last night, and now I cannot get them to open because I have an old laptop. So perhaps we will get it, perhaps we will not, but I think we can talk through the week. It's only 4 other days. I believe we can do this, Dr. Mary. First of all, let's say thank you. Oh, there they are.
Oh.
Thank you to Michael Strand for joining us yesterday for that really
Oh my
interesting
gosh, it
conversation.
was a fantastic conversation.
Yep.
It was odd to do it from my office.
Oh, you've done it before.
I know, but it was still odd.
Well, my mother loved seeing you in your office. She felt it gave you a whole new level of complexity.
Maybe we should do a special from the office over the summer.
Well, you do have an interesting, if somewhat murky office. But there's kind of interesting art, there's interesting sports stuff, there's, of course, all your bonkers education, so there's all those things. All right, let's wrap up the week. Does anybody else feel like this has been a long week?
It has, I think.
Yeah, it has. So, from Monday, the phrase, no true Scotsman, refers to the idea that some people are more superior than others. You can apply this to nearly any aspect of your life. Where do you need to realize that you are judging others or making determinations about decisions they make, and then just stop doing it? Do you have any places in your life that you do that? Oh, I can think of one, and it's kind of related to this.
Who, me?
Yeah.
When do I do that? No true Scotsman.
Well, you're pretty snooty about, on behalf of the Scots, about kilt wearing.
Only on behalf, I'm not Scottish in any way, shape or form. I just know, I have some fantastic friends who are Scottish, and I lived there for 2 years, so I will defend the kilt. When
And that
people
only
wear
Scottish
one,
people should wear them.
well, no, I wouldn't say that. You have to get your tart, and you have to belong to the, if you had the whole clan thing and the family thing. I don't think anyone should just
Which
buy,
really only America knows because of Outlander.
or Braveheart.
Yeah, except, Braveheart took place before kilts were worn. That's not historically accurate,
I
just in
remember.
case
God,
anyone
that's
cares.
true. I forgot, but that was the
Yes.
big problem with
Yeah.
it. Well,
Anyway, we're not here to review Braveheart Smurf. Anyway, back to you. You're snooty about that. I will also say, Dr. Mary, for one who received such a superior education in England, you are unbelievably
coming.
snooty about being an Irishman in England.
well, you can blame your parents. For
I
that.
can blame your parents because they are, I can't speak for your father, but your mother also feels quite superior. And okay, that's fine. I'm not judging it much. I'm mostly making fun of it.
Well, the phrase "a true Scotsman" is just being judgy about certain situations.
Yes.
So, you run a danger of feeling insuperior and insuperior.
That's not even a word.
I just made that one up. You run the danger of becoming superior in your own right, and it's not a useful trait for anyone or yourself.
When Dr. Mary gets a little snooty with me about any number of things, like the fact that I don't say whilst, or that I don't apparently use a knife and fork correctly, I call him Nigel Hutchinson.
Well, sometimes it's the complete total disregard for socks that really gets me, because it could give you a chill in your kidneys.
Yeah, it's when he gets real, oh, I've just come in from hunting the foxes, then I have to call him Nigel Hutchinson Smythe, because surely he's part of the English landed gentry, and I could probably do nothing more offensive than call him that.
This is the only problem with marrying a wonderful American who was obsessed with English Georgian-style literature.
Yeah, it's the only problem.
See,
Otherwise, it's all
awesome,
euphoric.
apart from that.
So, figure out where are you ranking people and try to stop.
Yeah, it is.
Worry about yourself.
You might think it's entertaining and lighthearted, but it is actually, it can be kind of cunning. You have to be very careful about that.
Yes, you do. Next question. Are there events or gatherings in your life where you could actively choose to only serve non-alcoholic drinks, whether you have alcoholics or addicts there or not, simply to normalize the lack of alcohol. So I think I told you when we did the recipe that the day before I had met a friend for wine and cheese, and we ended up having, she had a Diet Coke, I had a water and cheese, because we just decided not to have alcohol. And I will say this, the server didn't bat an eye.
No.
She didn't, I mean, she might have cared, but she didn't look at us like, oh, great. Now it's a low bill, I'll get a bad tip, and what's the matter with you two? She didn't say anything.
Did you do what we talked about over last summer?
Yes.
Yes, when you tipped like you were buying wine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just, you can start to normalize it on behalf of other people and for yourself. Next question. Before you ask someone why they aren't drinking, stop and consider if it matters. Is it any of your business? Does it change the nature of the event? Chances are no. So can you let it go? There's just so little reason to question people.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of none of your business. And this goes through to a lot of things people get judgy about, you know.
Pregnancy, marriages, jobs, incomes, your children. We all ask questions because we're all curious people.
You know what I find really horrible is you hear the, and I'm going to go straight to horror stories. You hear horror stories of people who are finally finding peace with themselves because they're transgendered and they've assigned the gender to which they truly think they are, and people start asking these incredibly probing questions. It's none of your business.
I will tell you,
You should just say well done to them and smile.
or again say nothing.
Or say nothing.
Particularly if they don't start the conversation. So I really only sort of intimately know, and I don't intimately know him, but I am close to one person who I know is transgendered, and I have only known him in his transgendered state. And I asked him the first time we met, because we were talking about it, I asked him what his girl name had been, thinking that was a very innocuous question. And he said to me, I never give people that information. And he was very kind about it. And I'm not saying to you that all transgendered people have that approach, but I felt bad because why does it matter? I know him as a man. Why does it matter what his girl name was? I was curious and I asked without thinking. Let me give you a personal example. I don't think I said this the other day. When I was pregnant, I worked at 2 coffee shops. And I was a very fortunate pregnant woman. I put on virtually no weight. So you really could hardly tell I was pregnant up to the day Quinn was born. But I was working at the Barnes & Noble Cafe, and a woman who was a regular but whom I did not know, said to me, whilst I was serving her coffee,
You really are padding this job a bit, aren't you?
she said, have you just been eating a lot of Christmas cookies or are you pregnant? Really? Really? Because both of those questions are crappy. Here's another one for you to consider for the weekend. Don't automatically wish a woman Happy Mother's Day. Don't put out on Facebook all this Happy Mother's Day stuff because you don't know who in your life is struggling desperately with infertility, who has lost a child, who was a foster parent and the child went back to their birth. You don't know. Even that discounts also the women who've elected not to give birth. You do not know. So be sensitive and probably mostly just shut up. At the end of the day, stop and think to yourself, do I really need the answer to this question? Okay, keep it to yourself. All right, next question. If you are hosting an event, consider all the needs of all your guests. Gluten, vegetarian, vegan, non-alcoholic, lactose intolerance, and others. There's, religious pieces that go with that too. If you cover all those bases, then your event is sure to be a success, and you have made sure to make everyone feel welcome. Nothing is more off-putting to me than when I show up at an event and people say to me, oh, we're just having meat. First of all, what in the hell is the matter with you? Serve a damn vegetable. Second of all,
Yes, meat and
Everyone in
vegetables.
my life knows I'm a vegetarian. You don't need to make a second meal, but you better roast a Brussels sprout. You better glaze a carrot. You better do something if you know I'm coming. You are great about if we go places and there's someone hasn't gotten non-alcoholic beer. You're great about drinking whatever
Yeah.
non-alcoholic thing is there. But the people in our life who really know us and care about us provide that for him, just like
Yes.
we do that for the people who come
Yes,
to our
our
house.
great friends, I'm going to out them with their names because this is nice of them. Rod and Ellen, they stock part of their massive fridge with some non-alcoholic beverage.
Mother
for
and
me.
Bob do it.
Yes.
Rod and Ellen do it. Silvio and Grit
My
do it.
mother does it.
Your mother does it. Your sister does it. Yeah, I mean, it's an easy thing to buy a 6-pack of non-alcoholic beer or to have an interesting drink. Go back to Tuesday. Okay, but that's just the alcohol piece. Just think about where everybody's at. And if you're confused, call them and say, I want to make sure that I have something for you. What can you recommend?
Actually, it's weird that we bring this up now because I've started thinking, what could I do that's completely... I actually don't want to make people feel bad if they don't do this. So I've actually got into this kind of almost alarming habit from your point of view that I just drink coffee with my dinner.
Like a grampy. I'll have a coffee with my lunch. Is he 87 years old? Come on.
I was not expecting this response.
Yes, you
from-
were.
I wasn't, actually, to be honest. When
No true Scotsman drinks coffee at lunch.
Well, there you go. There you have it. A perfect example of what we're
I'm
talking
very judgy of this. All right, I'll work on that. All right, Michael Strand notes that many addicts build a long methodology around drinking. That means they create justifications and manage their addictions to live their lives and keep it present and going. Do you suffer with that quality in any aspect of your life? Do you have those justifications? I'm not judging you. It's just the only one I can sort of think of. You buy a bag of spicy jalapeno chips
Oh, yes.
every other week.
Yes.
It's your Friday thing. That's not bad.
I do. Some of you might be thinking, why does he do it every other week? Yeah, check out the number of calories that are in said bag.
It's
of
not the
jalapeno
calories
chips.
so much as the fact that there are like 5 servings and Dr. Mary eats them in a bowl.
Yes.
So, and not over the course of 5 days. Dr. Mary eats it like a little bowl of popcorn,
Yeah,
which is easy to do.
I try and do it when there's a Grand Prix on, and I try and say, oh, it's my Grand Prix treat, but
Who in the world wants to eat jalapeno chips at 8 in the morning? No
Yeah.
one but an Englishman. Irishman. Soon to be an American. All right. Just think about those places where you
I've
are...
got to eat grits instead of jalapeno crisps.
Do I eat grits?
I don't know.
Really? 20 years in, you have no idea?
Yes, you don't eat grits.
No, I don't. Last question.
I don't even know what a grit is, to be honest.
It's cornmeal.
Is that all it is? Is
Yes.
it burnt to within an inch of its life or
No.
something?
Grits are actually quite lovely.
Never had them.
So, way to judge. Last question.
Don't like candy floss.
Oh my gosh. Let me know when you're ready. I'll just drink my tea.
What's the last question, Dee? No true Scotsman would stop before the last question.
Michael talked about maintaining addiction while demonstrating success. Are there places in your life where you are holding these two parallel paths, micromanaging whatever it is
Yeah.
that has a strong control over you, and what do you need to face it and let it go? Now, Michael's story was pretty extraordinary in the fact that he just woke up 2 days before his son was born and said, I'm done. But it's interesting. My stepmom did the same thing with smoking. She went out one day, smoked a cigarette,
Oh my
looked
God.
at it, and said, I'm done. And I
Yeah,
think at
she-
that point she'd smoked 10 to 12 years.
That's right. She also said she was just...
She just,
Because she used to go into the car. She said... Because their garage is not connected... Garage, sorry, is not connected to the house. So she used to say, I had to put my coat on and trunch through the snow to get into the car. And she went...
yeah. And then she was
And just quit.
done and has had no desire to smoke since. So there are people who have that ability. I'm going to go on record, and I'm a little bit nervous to claim this, but 3 weeks ago now, I think, I made this whole point about how disgusting my fingernail cuticle chewing habit is. Something about saying it to you and putting it out for the entire global population to see, not that many people are looking at our content, but if they were to, something about that made me say, enough. And I'm not telling you that I have not done one little gnawing, for lack of a better, less disgusting word, but I have largely quit after a lifetime of struggling and just not paying much attention to it. I have largely quit, and it was something about saying it to you was like I shut a door on it, and that took care of it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be these life-altering things.
Yeah.
My cuticles are not going to save or kill
It's
me.
little steps. That's what it is, and that's the whole thing about dealing with addiction. So if you are interested in Dana's continued struggle with her cuticles,
Who isn't?
please hit like and subscribe.
Hey, segue!
Thank you. I
All
was
right.
practicing that in my head for quite some time.
So if you are a mother of any kind, birth mother, stepmother, adopted mother, foster mother, clan mother, mother-in-law, mother, ex-mother-in-law, mother of, sort of your children's friends, happy Mother's
Yes,
Day.
have a fantastic day on Sunday.
And if you want nothing more in life than to be a mother and it hasn't happened for you or it didn't happen for you, I'm so sorry. And I hope that you have found people in your life to share the love and the joy and the care with that you would have given to children of your own. There are so many ways to love people and children. Birth is just one of them. So know that we are thinking about you however you celebrate or mourn the weekend.
And if you are an offspring or a significant other to someone who covers all of those bases, please, please, please remember to say, hey, happy Mother's Day to them on
Yes.
Sunday. That's
Yes.
this Sunday,
2 days.
the 9th,
Yes.
Mother's Day.
Wow. This message has been brought to you by Mother's Day. Have an excellent Friday. We'll see you on Monday.
See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.